we have the 740 on the lift because I want to do some more upgrades to the 740 before we take it to its next rally, which is actually next weekend. We got some work to do. She's not running the best, but we'll focus on that in another video. I want to primarily focus on some suspension stuff to help us get a little bit more grip out of the car. Just have the front end be a little bit more sturdy, because when you have a stiffer and more secure front end, it helps promote grip in the rear. Currently, we don't have a rear sway bar on, and we have a stock front sway bar. After the IPD vent, I picked up an older set of IPD sway bars, front and rear. For now, for the rally, you know, since it's in dirt, we only have a street tire, not like a off-road tire. I'm trying to promote as much grip in the rear as possible so we can go the fastest. To do that, we're gonna use this front sway bar from IPD, and we're just gonna throw it in the car with some custom end links that I'm gonna show you guys. It's pretty straightforward on these cars. The sway bar sits right in front of the subframe, the cradle for the engine. 2 bolts on either side of the frame rail, and then obviously you have 2 bolts to hold it into the control arm. Currently have IPD bushings on the top paired with a stock end link, so that bottom bushing is stock, which is giving a lot of play. And I think that, you know, making my own custom set of sway bar end links for this car is gonna help add to the stiffness, and so we can make the most out of our IPD sway bar. We're gonna replace that bushing with a Heim joint, have a custom thread go to our IPD poly bushings, and then that'll connect to our sway bar, which will obviously have poly bushings going to the subframe. So here's a little before clip of what the stock sway bars look like on the dirt and on the street. So once we get the new sway bar on, we'll show you guys the comparison of the before and after on the dirt and on the pavement. I think it's gonna do a lot for the car, and I'm excited to get this thing on, so let's get to it. All right, so here is the stock sway bar compared to the IPD bar. It's definitely a thicker bar, kind of hard to notice because it's covered in a ton of mud. Like, look at all that caked mud on there. I feel like it's hard to tell on camera, but it's definitely noticeable in person. Thick poly bushings versus the small little OEM with a gap too. It's kind of weird. So we're gonna have to take these end links off because this one's missing a bushing and that one has the bushing. Yeah, we're gonna use these until I can make some custom ones, because what I found out is that this is the big bolt that goes through here to hold it in. So I looked this up and I thought AI was gonna do me good, but it said this was supposed to be an M10 when it's not. So I bought M10, you know, links, and that's just not the case. So these are probably M10 right here. The bolts actually hold in the sway bar. I think this is an M12, so I'm gonna have to step up this to an M12 and keep this an M10. So we're not gonna be running the custom sway bar links yet, but we're gonna switch back to the OEM ones, and it should do enough of a difference to help give us a little bit stiffer suspension front ride. So now we're gonna throw in the IPD bar and see what it feels like. was pretty easy to switch out the sway bar on the 740. Now we're gonna go take it for a little test trip. But before I do that, I have to gap the spark plugs because I guess I totally forgot to do that. You know, if you've been watching the videos of us rallying this car, it's been misfiring pretty bad. So it's time to fix that. Hopefully get this thing running a little bit smoother, put it on the street, see how it does. Hopefully it reduces a little bit of the sway back and forth so we can maybe win the next event. Last event we got second. I want to win. Hopefully this does it. So it's the next day. We drove the car yesterday. We were still having some issues with it breaking up. That was after I gapped the spark plugs to be a little bit closer. I think they were sitting around like 0.03 something, and I gapped them to like 0.026 or 0.27. It seemed to be running better at first, and then once it got warmed up, it wasn't running better. I ended up switching from the 006 MAF to the original MAF. I did the original piping, so now it runs absolutely perfect. Except we're still getting some oil spewing out of the oil cap, so I have a new oil cap to put on there. In the next video, I'm gonna be doing a PCV system update and relocating the oil can and stuff like that. We got the car running good. The sway bar works a lot better, and you could see it in the comparison. Like if I'm turning, like the front tires were screeching, like it was breaking enough traction. You know, like the sway bar helped pull more grip out of the front and promote it in the rear. So I didn't get a dirt turning comparison, but I can imagine that if it's translating it on the street that well compared to the dirt, it's gonna definitely help. So I'm excited to get this thing on the dirt. I just signed up for the rally event this weekend. I mean, now that it's running better and the suspension's a little bit better, we should definitely improve on the lap time, and honestly, I hope to get first. So until then, thanks for watching. Definitely a well worth it upgrade. So if you can get yourself a sway bar upgrade for the front and for the rear if you really want it. Definitely worth it. I definitely noticed like a pretty good difference. To be fair, like there's a good amount of body roll still in the car. It translated to the tires more, and I think that's where it counts. Like, yeah, there's a lot of body roll, but I think that has to do with the suspension now. Obviously the sway bar is doing as much as it can, and I think once we upgrade to the newer end links, when I get to it, we'll do that, but it probably won't be until after the rally. Definitely have some stuff to do still. But yeah, catch you guys then. Later.